Alright, what's up everybody? So welcome back to Yo Mama's Radio. Today we're gonna be playing Rathew's Heroic Day. It is about a rat that is essentially avoiding rat traps. And it's a very simple WASD for motion, and then I guess you can hold space to go faster. And that's it. For those of you who don't know, I make videos about education, video game development. I do my best. I'm not the most experienced, and aside from that, it's for me to criticize constructively and to maybe potentially, inspire the developers to create even better games based on their projects, right? And so all of this in the name of video game appreciation. And so, with that being said, let's ratatat. Alrighty. Super Rat to the rescue! Am I really rescuing somebody though? So as you see on the lower right, there's kind of like the rat moving. I don't know what that was. And then those sidebars, I believe, are rat traps. Dang it, I just accidentally killed myself. So if you run into the wall, you die. Run into the wall, you die. So you don't stop running. There's no pause button. It's all go, baby. Those dots on the map that are running are, and this is where you die though. You can't go back if there was a back button. I'm gonna try to go back. See if I can go back. I'm gonna push back. Okay, go back. You cannot go back. See, so if you gave us a back, option, like walk backwards option, then that would be cool. But that it doesn't give us that. Kind of like Pac-Man. I think you could redirect your direction. And ooh, that was a close one. At least whatever those things are like vanishing though. Those are a lot of rat traps, if those are traps. Maybe it's people getting scared though. But game over. Oh, guess a rat trap appeared right in front of me or something. So you can't just go on a loop. This is automatically played, so all you do is just push the direction you want to go. Maybe for experience, it is innovative, so it must have been exciting to create the game. Like if this was someone's first game, this is pretty nice. But it's not the most exciting. It's just a simple kind of just, kind of. Well, how did I go back? What? That's cheating. I didn't even push a button. Okay, so simple. Let me see if I can interpret this. So you got a video of a constantly moving image that seems to be just a looping, I don't know if that appears to be a three-dimensional object on the left screen. And so, yeah, but you can't interact with the three-dimensional object. So that's the bad part. And it's going way too fast, even if you could interact with it. It'd be like you assuming, because you technically don't know where you're going. So this is essentially Pac-Man, and the only thing you're actually paying attention to is the lower right screen. Even the camera thing seems to not really do much favor for us. I'm just gonna look at the camera and see if anything pops up, I guess. If I change directions, No, because you don't even know where those rooms are, so that doesn't make sense. And so you could have made just this screen bigger, and you could have redrawn your bit mapping, because this is bit mapping, and you could have made it dang it. See, now I can't turn back. So that's a pretty big letdown on the player experience, but so um let's see. Dang it. Sorry. That was a last minute trap. Okay. Okay, yeah, so bit mapping, then you have your like under overlaid and underlaid parts or whatever. And then let's see. So what I was saying was this video right here, I'm just gonna let it play. And I'm not even gonna give it effort. I'll just keep it starting it. This video right here, if you look at my mouse, not the player mouse, just my computer mouse. But this video right here is pointless. This video, this footage, surveillance footage, is pointless. I think it might add a slight bit to immersion, but it really doesn't do anything. It's pointless. And so, cool, but maybe this top-down view would have been better. But because it might be a capabilities thing and you might not know how to program this, whatever this is, that appears to be a three-dimensional image. So I don't even know how to program it, but I know essentially pseudocode in a way, and I understand the computer well enough that it is hard to program, three-dimensional objects, right, in space, because that's all Z, Z axis, X and Y, and then yeah, but this is like, this does absolutely nothing for us. This is even more pointless. But check this out. Look, in this view, top-down view, right? Like if the surveillance camera is your eye in the sky, and you have to pay attention to the surveillance camera to produce this three-dimensional image. And you move this three-dimensional image instead of this two-dimensional bitmapped image, which even with this, like let's say even with this, two-dimensional bitmapped image in your literal block for a mouse, let's say you expand this only. Let's say, forget that I ever told you this. Let's just say this idea didn't exist, and this is your only idea, because this is really the only functioning that you got going on in the game. I guess this kind of does have some part in it. Expand this, and I'm sure you learned a lot from making this game actually, but yeah, expand this, only keep this, remove these two because they're pointless, and then just work on this, give this some detail, have like a more Pac-Man, old school Pac-Man, like, I think 90s Pac-Man, that type of feel. And sure, you could kind of buffer it up, maybe early 2000s Pac-Man, or Mrs. Pac-Man or something. And just and then maybe just soup it up a little bit. Allow us to walk backwards, and then maybe add some things like cheese. Put some cheese around here, or maybe not even cheese, because they actually prefer like nuts and like seeds and stuff like that, from what I've seen anyway. Just studying mice, and then give them a little bit of attitude, because all rats have attitude. I'm not kidding you. I've never met a mouse or a rat that didn't have some sort of attitude to like spit back in your face And so uh, yeah, I don't know the attitude thing. Maybe that running thing when you hit the space bar, you run faster. Oh, there it goes. Running faster right now. And so maybe the attitude thing might be like maybe there's a special to like destroy maybe for run faster at when you push the space bar, you could destroy the rat traps if you have enough juice or seed power. And that's a pretty logical, I don't know if logical is the correct word, but that's a pretty entertaining game just right there alone. And who knows, maybe, what is it you're trying, what's the mission? There's a story to this? Was there a story to this? Let's die really quick. Okay, there we go. So restart, okay, here, heroic day, called the rat, enjoys helping civilians. Rathew enjoys helping civilians. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying some mice don't get like kind of peaceful with people, but usually Speedy Sewer Network. I know like the rat expert right now. You can also how are you helping people if you need to know where they are at all times to stay away from them. So maybe create some sort of helping thing where I don't know, maybe poopy like rat pellets or something. You know, you poop like, you know, and you the humans collect the poop as fertilizer for their plants or something. I don't know. That was just a very rough thought that I know actually works. But that's it. I don't really have too much else for this game. I'll kind of let it run a lap or so just to kind of, you know, like maybe let the game sink in a little bit. And you can't turn too early because this happens. Yep, see, it just runs into the wall and then you die. But that's it. Would you give a rat superpowers? I don't know. But this would be cool. This three-dimensional thing would be cool. If you want to really make a rat game, like if you really have like a personal connection with rats, like I think this 3D game would definitely suit that personal interaction anyway. And who knows, maybe some backstory. I don't know. it's all you. But yeah, I think I'm done here. I don't think there's how about one more last thing? The specs. Those are the people, right? Let's just say something about that. Let's say something about the people. What? That's cheating. So the moving specs. You help people, and though the specs are the people, and those bricks are apparently the rat traps. People don't really kill rats with their foot because it's just too grotesque. You know, it hurts the psyche to stomp on a rat. So, because they're actually familiar to us. If you know anything about our descendants as people, we're actually extremely distantly related to rats because rats turn into lemurs. And lemurs turn into monkeys into apes into primates. And so, but people, the dots on the map, I don't know. I don't really think I have anything for you on that other than maybe making the people bigger. And, okay, yeah. And maybe that the rat traps would not appear randomly, but instead they would appear where a person saw you. So in the beginning, it can't be that they're just setting up traps because they're not even aware of you yet. So you need to give the interaction some birth, you know, like a birth of a relationship. It's, oh look, there's a rat. I don't like rats, and let's say the little dots are like, oh my gosh, ah! And then they like, there's a rat. and then they all of a sudden a little brick pops up when they see you, or a rat trap. And so you'll kind of remember, avoid that place. And then I do like the fact that they go away though. So I do gotta put that there because this is all pseudocode, by the way. So pseudocode is essentially uh, it's your words are a code. It's if this happens, then you know this, if this, or if else, or if anything else, and then etc. Right? And those are statements, right? Functions, and which induce variables and etc. And right there you have a game. So just me talking about it is pseudocode, but coding takes a lot of time because you not only need to learn like the syntax, you also need to learn the computational mathematics to know how to implement the syntax. And so it gets a little complicated. And so I'm still working on the computational mathematics part. I have myself learned a lot of syntax from many different languages, but I'm finally getting onto the mathematics part, but it took a lot of other things. But that's just kind of a quick note that I really think it should be more like that. And that's just constructive criticism. You could take it or not. It doesn't, it's not you don't have to echo other people's, ideas, but even getting rid of this mouse, that's echo, like set n or set echo to 0 for the mouse, so it won't, show the mouse. And maybe there's like implementing an in-game mouse or something, right? And so whatever, regardless. But I guess I understand why you left it like this, so because again, it is hard to code, and it seems like you did hard code this yourself. And so even if you got help in some way, I still think, like, even if you get help, you still learn from the help you receive. That's like asking a teacher how to solve a problem. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with asking Google how to implement, let's say, color schemes, for example, like, the red hues in your game. It doesn't hurt, because then you learn the syntax and you learn at least the computational mathematics, even though mathematics might not be directly obvious or completely obvious. That you maybe eventually, when you do learn computational mathematics, then you realize that like PEMDAS, like the sequence, the order of operations is within the syntax. And so, but alright, everyone, I think that's it. I believe this game was a little I don't think it was the most exhausting game, but I think it wasn't the most interactive. I wouldn't say it was a letdown. I think it was a learning experience. And everyone, just last words. I think everyone should definitely, take in learning experience. Like, if you suck one day, that one day might, in the future, you might not suck as much because you sucked in the beginning. We all got to start, at the beginning. It's like, how do you do a kickflip on the skateboard? You do a kickflip on the skateboard by learning how to do an ollie. And it's like, it takes time. You need a lot of shin splints and like busting your freaking legs up, possibly eating dirt, and it takes time, to really learn how to do a new move, and practice. Keep making mistakes, keep learning, keep failing, because failure is a part of experience. And so, with that being said, thank you for staying tuned to Yo Mama's, yo Grandmother's Radio, and I'm out.